Good evening, and I love you. And welcome to the Aquarius full moon. I'm going to take just a second on, I think I figured it out on here, and that I am live and streaming and things are good to go, but it usually takes me a couple minutes to figure it out. And as soon as someone pops on here, then I know that I am in fact doing what I want to do. So, all right. While we do that, all right. I assume that the ping has gone out by now, and we are ready to get started. So, we're in the Aquarius full moon, and Earth is crazy, isn't it? I thought this would be a really good time to just come spend some time with whoever's around tonight, wanting to connect, exchange some information, some love, some connection, and kind of just calm down a little bit. I'm going to do a reading for you, have some fun. So let's get started. We're going to begin with a teeny meditation. This is, did I even say good evening and I love you? Good evening and I love you. I'm Heather Peterson Lockhart, and I am joining you this evening for the full moon in Aquarius. There we go. Now we're official. Okay, this is a heart chakra bowl, and this is a Tibetan singing bowl. And I'm going to play this for us for just a couple of seconds, and we're going to breathe together and take some time to breathe. And I think it's rather essential. It's rather simple, but it's really essential to just calm down and breathe right now. Breathing and eating, two things that humans need to do that we're like so busy right now that we're forgetting to slow down and breathe. We're forgetting to eat. So let's take a minute and calm down and get centered together and breathe. We'll breathe. Okay. And then I'll be better too, and I'll be less nervous. Go ahead and close your eyes. And when we breathe in, we're going to breathe in through the nose. And when we breathe out, we're going to breathe out through the mouth. And when we exhale through the mouth, we're going to do what's called an auditory exhale, which means you're going to go and breathe out through your mouth. And that way your body can hear your voice and it can calm down. All right. If you're going to keep posting links on here, we're going to, there we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Go ahead and close your eyes. And let's relax our feet. Go ahead and put your feet flat on the ground, or if you're seated, fold your feet and bring your belly button forward. Bring your belly button forward. Bring your shoulders back and your chest forward. Relax your hands. Relax your eyes. Relax your shoulders and close your eyes. And breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And in through your nose. And out through your mouth. One more time. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Say, I love you to your body. Say, I love you to the earth and all her creatures. I love you. And say, I love you to a power greater than me. I love you. Let's take one more big breath in through our nose. Syncing up our energy, and exhale through your mouth. All right. Isn't that lovely? Okay. right, let's see here. Okay, so this is the full moon in Aquarius, and humanity's in a pressure cooker. We're in some very, very molding and moldable dynamics, movable dynamics. And so things are really uncomfortable for the collective and probably most of the individuals. The kicker is that's when we change. When we're in pain and when we're hurting is when most often we decide that we will make change. When we're comfortable and things are not going too poorly, there's not too much reason to make change. So during this time, when there's so much crazy going on the earth, we actually have the option to embrace higher belief systems, higher behavior, and become more happy and healthy than ever before. Now, that might sound so crazy to so many people right now because the times are so, what's the word I'm looking for? Mutable, changeable. Things are so, Uranus and Taurus makes for crazy is every day. But this is good, like I said, because the things are needing to change. But so let me get specific. What I titled this video, Suspend Judgment and Allow Amazing, because what's happening right now is the recalibration of humanity, the recalibration of the earth herself and all her creatures who choose to participate. Choose to participate being the operative phrase here, okay? Because what's happening is the earth herself is actually raising in vibration. She has decided that she's tired of all her babies warring with each other on her surface, of her creatures acting like heinous little infants and exploiting our resources, being heinous to each other, right? And so she's shaking things up a bit. So she has decided to raise her vibration, and in doing so, she made an all call to the universe and said, hey, all you souls who want to come hold a higher vibration and embrace a happier, healthy, more harmonious way of treating yourself and your fellow creatures, come on. And so that's what's happening. Let me put that in energetic terms for you. Let's say that the whole earth was calibrated for 40-watt light bulbs, okay? And so it's a dark earth, right? And all the little humans running around are 40-watt light bulbs. So we're only so bright. We can only see so much light. We don't like ourselves very much. We think the earth is a scary place. We embrace ideas like that. We talk like that. We walk like that. We act like that. There's a lot of darkness, heavy energy. Things get cloaked in dark, heavy energy. It's easy for things to stay secret in dark, heavy energy, right? And so our little 40-watt light bulbs run around on Earth, and we have a little 40-watt life. And the Earth, like I said, she gets tired of this. And so she says, I want to raise the wattage. I want to increase conductivity. I want to up the light on the surface. So she sends out that all call, right? So what she's doing is she's raising the wattage, the energetic conductivity of each and every light bulb. So each and every light bulb has the option to go from a 40-watt light bulb to a 100-watt light bulb, if he or she so chooses. Yes, and they get to go through the recalibration on planet Earth. And the recalibration looks like letting go of beliefs and systems and behaviors and bunking your biology that's no longer beneficial, and embracing a happier, healthier, higher way of living with more light. Light is information and love is creativity. So as this is happening to the finite seeing human, going from 40 watts, first of all, to 100 watts is a heck of a power increase. Okay, so how does that happen in the human? If you are new to today's programming, The human, you are a battery. You are an electromagnetic superconductive battery. This is an electromagnetic engine. This is an electric brain running a circuit in a body of 72% water. Yes, you are a highly conductive battery. So you're going from a 40-watt light bulb, 40-watt battery. I should have said that to begin with instead of light bulb. You're going from a 40-watt battery, and you're opposite me, so let me go this way. You're a 40-watt, blah, 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 blah. 5th time's the charm. We're going from a 40-watt battery to a 100-watt battery. Okay, so the earth herself is increasing her conductivity. All of the creatures that are attached to planet Earth are increasing their conductivity. Okay, and so the earth and her creatures who are connected are all going to raise in vibration harmoniously. And if you notice, those creatures out there that are connected, all of everything other than humans connected on Earth is doing just fine till humans go mess with it, right? Like none of the monkeys are grabbing unripe bananas and stabbing each other. None of the zebras are like, I identify as a lion. The lion's not kirking out and being like, I don't think anyone takes me seriously in the jungle. Like none of that bullshit is happening. But for humans, get a load of this. Humans are the only animal, yes, we're animals, we're mammals, did you remember that? Not connecting to the earth every day. We've completely disconnected. We wake up every day in a bed, in a house, suspended off the earth. We put on shoes with rubber soles. We walk outside in our rubber sole shoes. We get in our car with 4 tires. And then we drive our car, and chances are we get out in those rubber-soled shoes, go into another building off the earth, maybe even go into an office a few floors off, do our work, and then come back and do the whole thing again, never touching the earth. And so this electromagnetic heart and this electric brain that are conducting in a body of 72% water are completely disconnected from anything that could ground their power. So what ends up happening is the human, that's this power source that's supposed to be connected to the earth, because see, go back, no matter what color you are, no matter what culture you are, no matter where on the earth yo people hail from, yo mama back in the day was birthing babies barefoot on the ground, either in a wigwam or a teepee or a cave or an igloo or underground or in a body of water. Yes, humans were attached to the earth, connected to the earth, just like each and every other mammal. And just like each and every other mammal on planet Earth, the earth herself gave us codes of understanding, messages of information, lessons for our learning through our actual contact through the earth, through our biology. See, like, the bears, they don't have class, you know, like a couple times a month in the forest. Nobody gets together and like the teacher comes out and like says everything. It's funny to me that humans minimize and make fun of survival instincts in species that are operating more effectively and efficiently than ours. I find that so funny. And we think we're so bright. Anyway, so the earth herself and all of the creatures that come to the earth are designed in this process to receive what they need when they're supposed to need it, when they're properly connected. We are conductive bodies and we get really charged up with protons, and the earth herself has her surface is highly charged. I'm sorry, the other way around. We get charged up with too many electrons. The earth's surface is charged with protons. So when we touch the earth, what happens is, if you're familiar with electricity, it's called discharge. What it is we're grounding our batteries. So when we touch the earth with our bare feet or with our body, and we spend time on the earth like we were designed, not only do we receive the information, our energetic body constantly calibrates according to the earth's conductivity, which makes for a well-functioning, insulated, highly conductive circuit. When the human body is experiencing anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, high blood pressure, absolutely anything wrong with the body, it's an example of inflammation. And all dis-ease in the body starts with first energetic dis-ease, and then when focused upon for long enough and concentrated upon, it manifests into energetic disease. Into physical disease in the physical body. And all of this starts by simple inflammation. And so for a properly grounded body, it is impossible to host that inflammation. You see, like I said, all of the other, humans have all these diseases now. Interestingly enough, a bunch of diseases started presenting in the musculoskeletal diseases started presenting around the same time we started putting rubber on the bottom of our shoes. We have more things wrong with us right now, and yet we are on an earth that forces adaptation and a body that has completely new cells every 7 years. You want me to say it again? Let's do the math. Ready, boys and girls? You're in a body that has completely new cells every 7 years on an earth that forces adaptation. The earth does not allow anything to stay around unless it is needed and useful. So we got all this stuff going on our insides that we don't even know about that's beneficial and useful while we're focused on the wrong stuff, believing bunk, and sabotaging our biology. But let's get back. I'm a little ahead of myself. So let me go back. So if we start to regard ourselves, if we start to become aware of our energy, think about this. Think about this. Energy is a currency, a concept that we are all absolutely aware of. In fact, we talk about it. We say stuff like, I wish I had some of that kid's energy. Or we say things like a college student says, oh, I have to go get all my energy together and write my thesis. And then after they write the thesis, how did it go? Oh my God, it took all my energy. What does that mean? Did you have a jar of something and it got turned over while you were working? See, we all seem to have some fundamental concept of our energy. If you get on a treadmill, there's even a little measurement for it. kcal, a kilocal. Anybody know what a kilocal is? Interesting, right? You know what a calorie is? Do you know what a kilocal is? Do you know anything about your inherent energy? How to cultivate it, how to harness it, how to protect it, how to make sure someone else doesn't take it. All this is pretty important stuff. What if we were talking about blood? What if we were talking about your money? You'd be much more aware, wouldn't you? You would have, what if we were talking about your intellectual, what is it? It's your online ID. Then everyone has all this. Oh, I have this protecting my online ID. I have this protecting. I have a surge protector on my computer. I have this protection on my phone. I have this protection on my stuff. So what do you do to protect your own inherent innate energy? My what? Says the body with all these things wrong with it. As we become more aware of what we are, we start to understand that we really are operating in a superconductive spaceship with infinite possibilities. It's funny, we talk about people tripping our triggers and making us mad, right? So you got this one big red trigger button on the front of you. People say something, people do something, and it pushes your button and makes you mad. What you don't know is that you got like 8 buttons in here, and 10 over here, and 12 down here, and 4 down here, and 8 in here, that you can access all this other information and balance and possibility and capability from. I'm just metaphoring with the buttons. But we really don't have an understanding of what we are. And I think that that's going to be a beneficial focus moving forward, because I say this because I'm sharing all of this today on this Aquarius new moon for a reason. As this moon is full in Aquarius, we are coming after 2 full moons in Capricorn, which if you watched my last live, I spoke about how rare that is to have 2 full moons in the same sign. And when that happens, then we focus on what's the energy of the sign. What is spirit presenting? What are we supposed to be learning and focusing on right now, right? So we just had these 2 full moons in Capricorn where we are supposed to strap on our big girl pants or our big boy pants and get some structure organized here and get some discipline in our own lives and become a little more disciplined is the word about paying attention to our own well-being. Because as we move into this next phase where Pluto has moved into Aquarius, okay, for quite a long time, we are going to evolutionize our understanding of the human and of humanity entirely. The way that we understand ourselves as a creature is about to drastically change. And with that, we will learn that the way that we can beneficially take care of ourselves are drastically different than most things we've been taught. Many are learning right now that what we've learned about ourselves, what we've learned about possibly our stories of creation, our stories of, well, history. How about that? I'll say it this. There's a whole lot of people who are going down or have now been down the rabbit hole. And there's a whole lot of information being presented now. And in the next few years, it's going to be nothing but that. In the next few years, you're going to be presented with all kinds of information, which a good many people are going to find absolutely unfathomable. A great many people are going to leave the earth in the next few years. I don't think that that is anything to be upset about or to fear, because once you start to understand the grander plan and that everyone is a sovereign soul and we all come to do work and we all come to grow and we all come to be of service and we all come to enjoy this beautiful life. And if we're not up to speed, so to say, with our higher potential and the contracts that we made with higher spirit, then this life is not as enjoyable as it could be. Many are experiencing dis-ease in their energetic system, dis-ease in their body, dis-ease in their belief systems. And so things are very scary right now. And they might not feel like there's too much hope as they find out stories. I don't want to say stories. What's the word I'm looking for? As they find out, I don't even want to say truths, because truth is subject. As we find out more information, there you are. As we find out more information about our government, about different systems on the earth, as we find out about all kind, and things that have gone on in history. I don't want to be too specific. I'm also not trying to get myself taken offline. So as we find out more things that have happened and that are currently happening, it depends on a person's individual calibration and how they will be able to greet this information. If a person has a real strong sense of self and source and surroundings, then they might be able to greet some of this information more objectively and still maintain safe space. For most people are not able to create their own safe space yet on a daily basis. And so much of this information is overwhelming past the point that they can function well. And so with that, not only is it a time to create our own safe space, it's a time to be so very tolerant and loving of those around us who aren't at the same level. I went through, I wasn't sure how much I want to talk about this on here, or how much of this I want to talk about tonight. I want to do a reading for y'all, so I'll just keep this part really brief. But I started to go through an experience in about 2012. In 2012, the end of 2012, things started to change for me. Like the way I saw the earth, the way I understood things, the way I was processing was starting to change drastically. By 2013, it was on. By 2014, I was experiencing episodes of time where I would go into like a wormhole, I guess. I don't know, a little pocket. It would feel like I would drop in a pocket. And I would learn for a series of hours, and I would learn things that I absolutely couldn't fathom, and I never would have learned anywhere else. You don't find these things online, or not. In some places, I suppose you can. But anyway, and I was shaken to my core. I was scared shitless. And yet I knew that I had witnessed some sort of a process, because the first time that I dropped in one of those pockets, I was at the beach with my family, and I had been meditating regularly, and I don't remember what preceded this or how it started, but I think I was in a meditative space, and then I got an idea or an inspiration that led to another thing that led to another thing, and I was shown all this stuff for about 4.5 hours, and it was like I said, more than I could digest, more than I could fathom, more than I wanted to even think was possibly true. And this was in the wee hours of the morning, and I remember when I concluded this first session of learning, I remember going, okay, and then looking at my watch and understanding that I had only a few hours to sleep before I had to get up and make my kids breakfast. And I remember in that moment, knowing in that moment that something had just massively happened to me, because I had just seen what I saw, and I was like focused on, like, still okay to be like, all right, that was crazy, but you're gonna get up and make breakfast. Like, I wasn't like, you know. And that was the first thing that happened that I was kind of like, whoa, okay, this is above my pay grade. This is out of my hands. So that went on for a while, and I learned and learned and learned, and I became more curious and more guarded and more scared, and really wanted people to talk to. So I started seeking out teachers at that point. I started seeking out teachers, shamans, any kind of guides, anybody that would listen to me and help me. And one lady like responded that I had been given more than they knew how to address. I should be careful who I talk to. This was a long time ago. Wow. And which scared me more. And then, like, I tried to talk to a few people and I scared them. So then I just stopped talking. And then one day I went out in my backyard. Y'all have heard this. I've told this part several times, I think, in different ways, but I went outside into my backyard and I called out God. And I basically was like, screw you. Like, this is bullshit. Why are you going to teach me some shit and make me learn if you're not going to, if I scare people? Like, what's the point of learning things if I'm just going to freak out everybody? Like, I need some help. I need support, I think is what I said. I need help. I need support. I need someone to talk to. And a hawk landed on my fence, like about 4 feet from my face, and just looked at me like, I'm Hawk. What are you going to do? And it wasn't the warmest greeting, but it was exactly what I needed to know, that I wasn't alone and that it is what it is. Like, this is your shit, Heather. Welcome to the shit show. So I remember shortly after that, I asked to learn the laws of nature through the consciousness of Nikola Tesla, one of my most favorite times of my whole life. That was a hootenanny. I got shown the laws of nature through different experiences. One was with a lizard. One was with a daddy long legs. It was really cool. Those are stories for another time. But basically, I no longer, for a while, identified with my fellow humans. And I felt so lonely and disconnected. And what I learned made what I had learned as a kid and growing up not only absolutely untrue, but almost abominable and not easy to digest, to say the least. So since I didn't have any friends and I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I was a single mother of 3 children, nature turned up for me. And my relationship with the planet herself changed. And it was like remembering remembering my best friend. I mean, like, I can't even put it to words. It was a completion, a wholeness. The way I said it to other people was that, like, I got this upgrade in compassion that made me almost unable to leave my house and interact with others because I was so vulnerable and I was so in love with everything. I was so crazy in love with absolutely everything that it made me so that I had to kind of be careful with myself. And like, it was just, it was like high sensory kids that can't control their emotions. Absolutely. Because they're just so like, it's so pretty. And then they're crying, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm overwhelmed. But it wasn't the bad. It was just the good was like, everything was more beautiful. I was in love with everything. It was like, everything was talking to me. Like me and the plants were friends. The animals and I were friends. The lizards loved me. They would be all over my deck when I was toning my bowls. It's so fruity. And it's a trip because like the big thing for me was the birds of prey. They would be absolutely everywhere. I had hawks with me most every day. I've had, I don't know, 70 to 100 birds of prey above my head 3 different times. It's phenomenal because this planet is talking to us every second of every day and we're completely oblivious and we say dumb shit. Like I read, like this is where I've had to really temper myself because otherwise it would be too hard to function, is the honest truth. Like when I read it'll make me cry. When I read a headline that says orangutan spotted using medicinal plant for healing, and they're like, we have 98, almost 99% of our DNA the same as a chimpanzee. Then it was infused with some alien DNA to give us a fused chromosome. That's also another podcast. But anyway, everything is connected and everything is talking to us and we can talk to it. And we're actually in a skin suit that responds to the physics of this planet, that interacts with nature, that adjusts its conductivity according to its environment. We have an electromagnetic field around us, approximately 2 meters in nature, depending on one's conductivity. Some people's field is huge, some is more reined in, and the field can be any degree of clean and conductive. And our ability to interact in our environment and to, how do I say, I don't want to use the word create, to operate in a happy, healthy life and maintain it is so much more attainable than we've ever been taught. I don't want to say it's easy because it's not going to be easy right now. It is not going to be easy to go from this mode of humanity right now and our current beliefs and behavior to where we are going. The next 40 years are going to be extremely challenging on humans. And that's what's happening. We are literally recalibrating our actual biology. Our bodies are changing. If you have heard anything about our DNA, you will know that what is common popular consensus, you got 2 double helix DNA strands, and yet 98% of our DNA is called dark DNA, junk DNA. Remember what I said, the earth doesn't allow anything to stay around that's not needed. So 98% of our DNA is unused and bunk, and it keeps coming back on a law of adaptation and evolution planet. That doesn't even make sense. What it is that the DNA that scientists have observed and coded is protein genome DNA, and the rest of it's light activated. And so as you raise your vibration and your energetic conduction, which means you fall in love with yourself and everything around you, then your DNA comes online. Then you start talking to nature, the planet herself. Your biology starts upgrading and updating. You start becoming able to retard the aging process and meld and integrate with your higher self. That's what time it is. How fucking exciting is that? I mean, oh my God. And it sounds so crazy to so many. And yet there's quite a few people talking about this kind of stuff right now. Like what's, the people that are healing their bodies by talking to their bodies. Dr. Joe Dispenza healed his back that way, right? So this is the new, and what this is the reintegration of the divine feminine aspect of humanity. You know, if you think about it right now, we've got this very masculine society. We like when you want to change something about your life or you want to get something done, right? People are like, well, go out there and do it. Go out there and do it. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Like, what steps are you taking? Nobody says, well, sit still and allow balance. Sit still. Calm your field. Allow yourself to attract and call in what you desire. Nobody says that. And one is completely crazy and one is completely on point. Yet these are two bipolar ends of the spectrum. In the middle is where we want to be. We want to be able to have the balanced, healthy, sacred masculine aspect of self, the doing, the activity, right? Married by the being and the passivity. Doing, being, active, passive. Electric, magnetic. That's how it works. And so we're getting that chance to allow that to come back in, and on the personal, on the individual and the collective basis. And what that feels like is a personal shit show. Where we're off in our beliefs, we're going to feel it. Where we're not taking care of our bodies, we're going to feel it. Where we are not showing up in proper relationships that we are acting authentically, and relationships that are going to honor our authentic evolution, we're going to feel it. And it takes a while to train yourself this way, but if you can decide that everything that's happening, it's like if your shoes start pinching your feet, you need a new pair of shoes. You don't want to stay in those shoes and try to cram your toes in there and make them work and just get her done. You're going to have messed up feet later. You want shoes that fit your feet. You want to have a nice walk, right? You want to enjoy the ride. So that's what time it is. And if you can take what's happening like that, like if you can decide that everything that's happening, I said to a girl the other day, you have to decide this is the best deal for you. And she's like, okay, this is the best deal for me. No matter what's happening right now, it's the best deal for you. The problem is not what's happening. The problem is your viewpoint of it and your acceptance or lack of acceptance of it. I had a I had a mentor for 11 years, and he used to say to me over and over and over again, Heather, lack of power is our dilemma. Acceptance is the solution. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Another thing I've been really, really on lately is thinking about water, okay? Water's never flowing and then flows, and then comes up against a cliff and it's like, damn it, did not know this was going to be here, right? Flows in a cave and flows out of a cave and comes back out. And it's like, that was so stupid. We just wasted so much time flowing in and flowing out of a cave. No, that doesn't happen, right? The water just flows up against the cave, up against the cliff, realizes it's going to smack against there and then flows off. It is so powerful in its lack of resistance. It is so powerful in its allowance of whatever's going on. We have more power as we surrender to a situation and allow the situation to be, and then to choose our position, to choose our belief, to choose subsequently our behavior, than we do in getting emotional and reacting, which is what most of us do. It's really low vibing. We see something and then we're like, I don't like that. Oh my God. Fucking drain of our energy. Then we call up our friend. We're like, you're never going to believe this. Feeding it. There's no creative process in that. I didn't build anything. I didn't make anything. There's nothing I like in it. Nothing great came out of it. And I end up doubling down on what I don't like. So as we continue to move through this time, if we can suspend judgment and allow amazing, deciding that whatever's happening in front of our face is a gift for our highest evolution. Spirit is doing for us what we couldn't do for ourselves in the path of least resistance. See, that's the kicker. The path of least resistance. The water comes up and flows out. It's not the most graceful path. It's not the path that doesn't hurt. It's not the path that feels the best. It's not the path with most experience. And it's not the path that others think acceptable. It's not the path that you chose necessarily. It's the path of least resistance. Because Spirit knows no more than we do. It knows more than we do. It sounded like no more the way I said it. Spirit knows more than we do. And so with that, yes. So with that, if we can suspend judgment, what you do when you suspend judgment is you postpone your reaction. And then if you simply allow, amazing, if you say to yourself, not going to judge it. It's amazing. 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 It's just my idea. It's my job to figure out how. And it might take you a little bit, but you are not jumping on the problem then and forfeiting any possibility of being in the solution, right? Lack of power is our dilemma. Acceptance is the solution. So I'm going to pull a couple cards for you here, and then I'm going to tell you, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget, because, so I come on here when either it's like a moon or a certain energetic thing, or I just want to be with you guys, or often it's when synchronicities have appeared in my life. Like people have asked me the same question over and over and over. More than one person has presented working on the same thing. And so then I'm like, okay, it's time to talk about it, because I'm a kind of, I think, a poor gauge of knowing when is a good time to talk to people about things, because, well, I came ahead and I asked to go first. So I have gone ahead in the process with the recalibration of my biology so that I can be in a suitable place to help others. And there are others who have undergone the same changes too. For those who are like in the, I call it the woo-woo community, they would have referred to us before as Blu-rays. I am a Blu-ray. Those before me were the Indigos, which were kind of trailblazing and sort of blowing up the damaged masculine energy, bringing in some real solid sacred masculine energy. And then my crew, we are here with all of this divine feminine energy, ready for the reconstruct, ready for the rebuild. We are seers of the new. And so it is my job to focus, hocus pocus focus, on the most beautiful, capable, loving, compassionate, connective, conductive future I can fathom. It's my job to see it. It's my job to see it in every human I encounter. It's my job to find the God in every person, place, and thing I witness. I think it's your job too, but I'm not here to say what your job is, so I can only assume what my job is. So I have decided it's my job to be who I want to be, so I can have what I want to have in this beautiful place. Because I understand that by recalibrating my own biology, I help the earth. Yeah, we're space holders, placeholders. You know, you can't give away what you don't have. You can't give to someone what you don't have. So you got to become who you want to be before you can see the fruits of that. I love it when they fall out. All right, we're going to pick a goddess card. I haven't shuffled these yet. So what I was going to say is after we do this reading, I'm going to go over the question that's been posed to me is, where do I start? Okay, Heather, where do I start? Where do I start? If we're recalibrating our biology, if we're becoming a new version of humanity, which, by the way, y'all, there's been multiple versions of humans here before. Some people say this is the 7th to 8th hybridization. Some people say more. Anyway, And everyone's going to start to learn more about this as more information becomes available. But there's been different versions of humans on Earth, on Mars too, actually. And so I lost my train of thought. Oh, so for this next hybridization, which we are in the process of a recalibration right now, people have been asking me, what should I do first? Like, what can I do to help myself first? So we're going to talk about that as soon as we look at these cards, because that's the important stuff. Okay. What's on tap? Ooh, the Six of Wands. And the energy that's presenting is the Eight of Cups. Should I stay or should I go? What we're going to do with it? Oh, I love it. The Ten of Cups. We're going to celebrate. We're going to make love. And our outcome is the Death card and the Emperor upside down. Interesting. We're going to have to ask on that one. And, oh my goodness. Who should we be? I'm going to put all this together for you. Don't worry. I just like to see so I can have an understanding before I do put it together. Our Goddess card is Lazy, and she's Revelation upside down. And then I'll pull the Universe card last. Okay, so for our reading, we have the Six of Wands. So we are being told that it is time for us to choose the path, to take action on a the wands are our passions, our creativity. So this is saying we have the ability to be proud of our success. We can move forward. We are going to have to put our whole heart. We're gonna have to put our. My girl's here with me. She's always. Hey, are you okay? We're going to have to put our whole heart into the journey in order for triumph. And this is not the end, but this is being well on our path to using strength, making sure this is very career or passion based. Like, we're going to celebrate our victory. This is about victory. This is about sitting and being seen as victorious. You see, I think in this deck, that's Nefertiti, I believe. So we're going to move forward. We're going to have to be confident in doing so. And there was something else I wanted to say about that. We're going to have to remember, this comes later, to celebrate. Celebration is going to be key. And I'm going to tell you why that's a really big deal. Those watching, if I don't specifically say why praise is a big deal, remind me, because you're going to be like, oh, that's crazy. Okay. So the energy presenting for us is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is telling us we're about to undergo a spiritual pilgrimage. And she's saying, walk on, baby, walk on. This is like my favorite card. I love this card. You can see she's dropping that last bit of clothes. She's about to get vulnerable with spirit. She's about to go see what's going on in the inner workings. And the path is lit. You see the torches in her hand. I think that's Athena in the back. I'm not sure which goddesses are on the wall, but they're holding a torch and she's about to walk into the water and all the cups are there. So this is a spiritual pilgrimage. This is where we're going into the unknown. We're going to recalibrate. And the energy that we should embody is the Ten of Cups. And this to me is saying, suspend judgment, allow amazing. I was in a meeting the other day and we were talking about how I was saying to my son, I had said to my son that very day, because that's how spirit works, the synchronicities abound. I was saying to my son that very morning, I was like, isn't it funny how when people are like, you know, I really wish I could get a sign, like, spirit, just send me a sign that I can't refuse. And I'm like, you woke up. And my son's like, you breathed. And I was like, you got two arms. And we were like joking around about it. And then I said in the meeting, if I weren't so busy running around trying to prove that God exists, couldn't I just allow? If I weren't so busy when people are like, oh, these big eclipses, God's really talking. God's not talking when a baby's born. God's not talking when you wake up each day. God's not talking when sun comes out. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can, oh, and let me say about praise. We can allow that all of this beauty freely flows to us. And I swear to you, the more you focus on it, the more it abounds. the more you praise it, the more it is present. And what I was going to say is the reason is, check this out. When you praise something out loud, like when you go to church and you offer praise and you sing songs of praise and it feels really good, okay? There's a whole lot of energetic stuff going on right there. First of all, you are a conscious creator, okay? When you choose to pair your consciousness, your intent with the power of sound, your voice, you are creating massive energy. When you're doing it with other people around you, you are pairing all of that energy. You're joining, not even pairing, you're joining all of that conscious energy where you're all thinking about the same thing. And you're all using your voices to give power of sound to your consciousness, to the spirit world. Same thing we used to do when we sit in a circle or stand in a circle as a tribe and chant for the rain or chant for a birth or chant for a death. There is real power in praise. And you can change your life by opening your mouth about what's good. The outcome of that is the Death card and the Emperor upside down. So I'll ask for some clarity on this. But what I feel about this is the Death card is the true version of self. Okay? Now, to be honest, really honest, the true version of self does not probably feel like the most powerful version of self. The Emperor is the most powerful, right? And the one that takes charge and, you know, calls the shots, gives the rules. The Death card is truly, it's spiritual rebirth. It's allowing the old to die and a true transition and transmutation to happen as old beliefs die. And for me, I think this is absolutely, I'll pull one more card, but for me, this means that this happens when we lose this. Yo, lack of power is our dilemma. Acceptance is the solution. I love it when I can put it together like that. It's the truth, though. You know, paraphrase, I'm not a big Bible reader. I do love some Jesus, though. Jesus says in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must be like a child. That does not mean infantile. When we're talking about the inner child, the inner self, it's not infantile. It's not ignorant. It's not stupid. It is, honestly, it's the part of us that sits with God. And so that part of us is not power seeking. It is powerful. It is filled with power, joined with the Most High. When we are one with Spirit, we are not seeking control over any other situations, because why would you when God's got it? Do you really think you can do better than the Most High hands? When we're turning it over in authentic representation of self, surrendering old beliefs, transmuting old behaviors, letting go of what no longer works, letting ourselves rebirth. We're not like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You're kind of like, I don't know. I'm redefining, I'm tuning. That's my new favorite thing. When someone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm tuning. I'm tuning to the path of least resistance. That's my new phrase. It doesn't feel powerful. I don't feel super powerful when I'm redefining who I am. When I'm rebirthing the most vulnerable, authentic, yes, authentic and pure, Heather, parts of self. No, I don't feel like I know it all. Quite the contrary. I'm quite vulnerable. And it's my feminine surrender that is allowing me to seek nurture, seek connection, seek comfort, ask others for help, see myself as more human, grow, evolve. Oh, it's some good stuff in a really weird way. It's kind of a whole new adrenaline thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to being like, yeah, I've got it all figured out. Now I'm like, I don't have a clue. Which is honestly the only answer really there is, because the only authentic answer, and I probably say this every time I'm on here, and I'm probably going to say it every time I'm on here, the only authentic answer anymore is I don't know. How could you know? You've never been who you are right now in this current time, with this current set of gifts, with this current set of possibilities, in this current energy, in this environment ever before, and it changes that fast. So how could you know? So thinking that we know and judging the situation is really just kind of silly, isn't it? It's much more beneficial to just be like, I don't have a clue, but let me take a look at my resources and stockpile of gifts I have inside, the infinite access I have to all that is. Let me see what I can come up with. Isn't that yummy? Delicious. And who should we be? The Nine of Swords. Face our fears. All those swords. It's such a scary card. It's like the Grim Reaper's coming to get her and he looks so scary, and all those, look at the hand coming down here, coming out to get her, hand here coming out to get her, all these swords. But if you look really close and look at those glitter nails, focus. Hocus pocus focus, Heather. If you look at all those swords, they are trained on her, and yet none of them are touching her. They are her fears that she is cowering from. It's what she's afraid of. It's not actuality. So, let's get one more on this. The Nine of Wands is our clarifier. So, in this deck, the Nine of Wands is Cleopatra. And the real kicker that's I'm feeling in this card right now is re-examining what you're really allegiance, who are you serving? That's what I'm feeling in this. With this, as you let, and all of this, like, if y'all don't see and feel the synchronicity in this whole talk and reading, I don't know what would make you. This is phenomenal. As more things come to light about what we are as humans, how we work as humans, things that are going on the earth, how we can take care of ourselves, how we can take care of others. As we let the old die and transmute into something better, saying, hey, I don't have all the rules. I don't have all the answers. I really don't know how to run it all right now. We take a look at what we really stand for. Most of us get our panties in a wad about shit that's not really important, and half of it's because we've been taught to simply react. We don't know what we're really about inside. If you aren't sure about that, find 5 adults and ask them 3 things they do for fun. Not a one will get it. Maybe. If you find one of those 5 adults that's like, I like to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Not the men, maybe a woman, but the men are pretty lost right now. Don't know what they do for fun. Don't know what heterosexual men. I don't know about gay men. I'm like totally meandering off the track right now. It's the truth though. The reason I say this, okay, let me just clarify what I said. The sacred masculine aspect of self is the doing. Let's go get her done, right? The divine feminine aspect of self is the creativity. The masculine is the root, the trunk, the stem of the tree, strong, stable, firmly planted, firmly grounded, can suck up all the nutrients, remain strong. It's not going to blow over in the wind. It's got to be like this. I'm reading the comments, the gays also. It's got to be like this in order to have all the leaves on the top, all of the fruit. That's the divine feminine part. You can't flower in your creativity until you're getting ample nutrients and you got your stability figured out, right? If your roots keep coming out, you're not going to have the best harvest, okay? So with that, we have to ground ourselves in our bodies, and then we have to develop some creative passions. If we don't have creative passions going on right now, we're really overcome with not knowing how to calm down ourselves, not knowing what we need to do for fun. So that's why I say we don't know where our allegiances are, because we don't know who the fuck we are. We are getting our panties in a wad because this candidate did this government did this, and so did this. When does it really matter? Like, what are you about? What are you for as a soul? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you building in the creative endeavors of your heart? That's what matters right now. That's what's going to save our lives, literally. If we go through the next few years absolutely reacting to everything that we witness, we're going to drain our batteries, which is, I mean, that's the idea. That's, it's like a bully on a playground to me. If I go to the playground and there's a bully there and the bully acts heinous, and I leave and I go home And I call up all my friends. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a bully at the playground. We're not going to the playground. Don't go to the playground. Don't go to the playground. Then nobody goes to the playground. And not only does the bully win, but nobody gets to go to the playground. We don't get to go. We don't get to play. We don't get to exchange snacks. I'm all about snacks. We don't get to promote oxytocin. We don't get to build camaraderie. We don't get to exchange with each other in the way that is beneficial. All that goes out the drain because of our fear. Where if I witness the bully and then I go home and I'm like, that asshole. Well, I trust everything will work out. And I just don't pay it any more mind. This sounds so crazy to some of you. And I just go about my business. The odds of the bully maintaining power when we don't feed the bully any of our energy. Like if 4 or 5 of us come back and he tries to act like a tyrant and we're just like, you're not any fun. And we walk off, the bully loses power. The bully responds to our fear. The kicker is it's an actual energetic currency. It's just like if you had a bank account and every time someone pissed you off, you gave them a penny. Well, when you were broke, you would know why. You'd be like, I gave that fucker all my pennies. Right? Well, people are broke off with anxiety, cancer, and all this other shit going wrong in their body. And I'm like, I don't know why. Because you pay your energy. You pay your God-given, innate, inherent energy to everything around you but you. Then you wonder why you're bankrupt. We'll become more aware of this whole energetic concept as we move along. It's funny, energy was absolutely discussed and talked about inherent in the body until the early 1900s. Actually, the Flexner Report in 1910 was one of the things that did away with that. They changed the wording and the what you could not say in all of the hospitals. And at that point, the Rockefeller regime deemed it, you were not allowed to talk about inherent energy in the body. You were not allowed to use electromagnetic healing anymore. They didn't make it illegal, but they made it so that you could not receive federal funding. So I think it was 13 holistic hospitals, and including 2 or 4, I can't remember right now. I've written on this in public, but I forget it was 2 or 4 African-American hospitals all went under at that point without federal funding. But up until that point, energetic means was regularly used to treat humans. Yes, even in the hospital. All right, so let's see what our girl says. Number 28, revelation. Only she was upside down, so we have an alignment message. 2-8. All right, it says sometimes life throws you a curveball and it feels like you've been hit by lightning. Perhaps a romantic partner betrays you suddenly, an illness strikes someone close to you, a job you expected fell through, the new employee turns out to be a dud, or you get a huge tax bill. No matter what the subject, your task is to pivot and course correct according to the needs of the event. Even if you don't understand what's happening, don't second guess yourself. Allow amazing. Some things are not meant to be predictable, and detours may be exactly what you need. Loss or bad news aren't the only options in this situation. You may have just been offered something you've always wanted, something such as a proposal from a lover, a better job, or the chance to move. Your tendency might be to try to control circumstances or to worry you may not be prepared for the change. The goddess Lsʋ reminds you that the great goddess will never give you more than you can handle. Your alignment task is to surrender to what is in front of you. You can do this. The synchronicities abound. It's the human condition to say, I have not experienced this before. I don't know the outcome. I'm afraid I might lose what I have. I'm afraid I'm not going to get what I want. I feel extremely uncomfortable. It's bad. What if we did all that and we're like, I've never experienced this before. It's extremely uncomfortable. I'm afraid I don't have the answers. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm extremely uncomfortable. Oh, this is when the magic happens. That's what I do now, because it is when the magic happens. You know, with that, I'm a Capricorn, okay? And Pluto has just moved into Aquarius, all right? So that's why I say we're going to redefine how we understand humanity and humans as the individual and the collective, because Pluto is death and rebirth and transmutation. And so when that happens, Pluto comes into a sign and burns everything to the ground. Okay, so Pluto just left Capricorn. Pluto came to Capricorn right after. I got sober on the precipice of Pluto coming into my sign. So Pluto was in my sign for almost 17 years. Pluto's about to dip back in this next month and do the last little tour through Capricorn, and then he will be in Aquarius for quite some time. I share this because what preceded me getting sober was an epic fallout. Like, the shit just hit the fan. My life was a mess, right? And it was such a mess that I couldn't go on doing it anymore. I had to make change. I literally got so tired. I'll never forget that day when I went into a meeting and I sat there and I never said, yeah, you guys look like you have a diligent way of life. Let me try it like you. I was just like, dude, I'm so fucking tired of trying it my way. I fucking give up. And in that, I was able to surrender and crack that door just enough to start hearing different things and accepting some different beliefs and behaviors ultimately. So much like this card says, if you can suspend judgment and allow that it's amazing, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, choose that it's for you. Choose that it's for you. Choose that it's amazing. And then it's just your job to reframe how you're seeing it. And remember with that, you can make up some cuckoo little story that helps you accept it a little bit better, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a truth and a non-truth. You got to find a way to accept what's going on in front of you in a way that makes your heart calm, in a way that makes you able to possess love. You've got to find a way to see what's in front of you with love. Whatever situation, whatever human being, whatever thing, because you can't change it. And it's going to get worse if you resist it. I will pull a goddess card for each sign. Well, how long have I been on here? I can't even tell. Let's see here. I think we'll go ahead and do it. I have time and my thing is good. Let me grab a little bit of my drink and then I will pull a goddess card for each sign. How about that? I wonder if I should, maybe I should end this one and, nah, we'll just do it and then I'll cut it. I was wondering if I should end this one and then start another one for, I can just timestamp it though. All right. No, we're good. Okay, here we go. We're pulling for Aries. Ocean, generosity, upside down. The number is 40. 4 is all about manifestation. 40 is a solid number for manifestation. It feels like a table. So if your table is upside down, Aries, I just realized I didn't read our thing. I didn't read our universe card for our group reading. Sorry. When I focus on my inner light, I can't read upside down and backwards. I see the world through the lens of love. I think that's what I just said. So cool. They're the same colors. Oh my goodness. Okay, Aries, sometimes you may fall prey to fears about whether you will get what you need. So you worry about money or love and you begin withholding. You might find yourself being overly restrictive and beginning to hoard for that proverbial rainy day. Do you know you cut off ocean's generous flow of potential when you allow yourself to be convinced there's not enough? It's like a hose and you pinch it off. That's a great analogy. There is always an almighty flow of goodness, of health, of happiness, of bounty, of abundance, of benevolence, streaming right to you. We pinch it off with our beliefs. We put little clothespins in the line and we're like, oh, I'm not getting it because I'm not good enough. Because I live here. Because me. In this moment, the goddess Ocean wants to offer you this alignment task. You can't expect the great goddess to be generous with you if you show her you don't trust in the flow of her generosity. Now is the time to do the opposite of what you fear. When you feel there is not enough money, spend it to signal your trust and abundance. If you feel unloved, ask who you can love and where you can show you care. Even a kind gesture made to a stranger sends the sign that you trust in the generosity of the world. Don't wait to get what you want. Give it away to others, and you will be amazed at how things turn around. The goddess ocean has only your best interests at heart. All right, Taurus, let's see what up. We're going to move really quick through these. Gula, she's upside down, number 18 for healing. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 is about the understanding of a cycle. Oh, itch. 10 is completion. 9 is the understanding. So you might have finished learning some stuff here, and now you're probably ready to put it into play. Let's see what she says. The goddess Gula calls you to recognize that you're running on empty, Taurus. You have nothing left to give. You've reached the end of the road, and you must stop what you're doing and consider the implications of your actions run amok. Do you need to set better boundaries around your enthusiastic tendency to say yes to everything? Have you allowed others to drain you because you feel it's your job to listen, love them, and fix them? Do your close companions cling to their victim stories and continue to impose them on you? Your alignment task is to step back and assess what is true and make new choices. And maybe put yourself first. You will be glad you did. Just remember, it is sometimes the healing choice to take a break and only focus on you for a change. All right, who's next? Gemini. Lots of action in Gemini lately. By the way, you know, I should have said this before, but many of us, like myself, are being activated during this time because of these dynamics in Gemini. This stuff is happening right now at 16, 17, 18 degrees Gemini. The markers for many of people, many of the souls that have come and incarnated during this time. There are things in our charts, like once you start to learn about, let me slow down. You can learn a lot about who you are. Not a lot, you can learn everything about who you are and what you came to be and what you've done before by looking at your natal chart, your natal birth chart. When you came and your soul came to this earth, the stars and the planets were all in a certain location, and it is basically your energetic signature. Everything in its perfect location describes why you came when you did and what you're here to do. So for some of us with stuff in our chart in Gemini from 16 to 19 degrees, those are the markers that are traditionally grouped with the blue rays, the indigos, and the Nihal star seeds. So if you can take a look at your chart and see if that is for you, and if you're feeling kind of wonky and a little bit weird, you might want to see what's going on with you in your chart. It's really interesting. Like, I didn't put this card in there. It's funny. Oh my gosh. So like I have, for example, I have Neptune sextile Pluto with a 1-degree orb. That is an astrological dynamic that pretty much means you know who you are, you know what you came to be. It's also significant of being a spiritual warrior. I don't like those two words together, but to use common terms. You'll find that transit, that dynamic is present in some people's whole family's charts. For example, it might be in my father's, right? It might be in my mother's. It might be in my son's, right? And so it's interesting when we see these dynamics in our own chart and you go look at your family, and then you see that this is these, I don't want to say dynamics, ways to be of service. That's what I want to say. These ways to be of service are present in the family lineage, in the family Akash. And it's pretty cool to me. It's really cool to me to think that there's a whole lot more going on than just a finite bag of bones and blood that comes here for a little bit and is faulty at the beginning, and humans have to put some shit on them and make them right, and then it's a fucked up experience with 5 kinds of cancer and 4 kinds of anxiety, and then you're just gonna fucking check out miserable. Kind of sounds like a waste to me. It sounds much more divine to come connected to everything and to be doing work on my own evolution in service to my own soul and all of those around me. That sounds amazing. I'm pulling for Gemini, right? Why are all these cards upside down? Gaia, Earth, number 16, also upside down. 1 and 6 is 7. Spiritual spiral. I don't know why I'm going blank on what else that means to me right now. Maybe it doesn't mean much else. I'm seeing a spiral for you, Gemini. Like a helix spiral. When you scatter your energy and allow fear to take root, you can become ungrounded or out of touch with your environment. You become disconnected from your true nature as a spiritual being having a human experience. The need now is to look at the cracks in the foundation of the life you've built. When one aspect of your life is out of alignment, it affects everything else. Ground yourself with Gaia, the Earth Mother. She wants you to enjoy creating the world you live in. Your alignment task is to take a fearless inventory of where, how, and with whom you live your life. Is your energy draining from the choices you are making? Are you physically exhausted? Do you accept less than your value? Your efforts must be to repair the foundation of your life and begin again. You will be so thrilled with the results and wonder why you didn't do it sooner. The goddess Gaia is supporting your every move. All right, we're pulling for Cancer. Yuki Ono, stillness, number 52, also upside down, so you have an alignment message, and you're also with the number 7. I can't read these. I call in all 3, love of new job, and the 3rd was. Amen, amen, amen. 52, let's see here. You know, for some, I guess, you saw my face, like, because I was like, I don't even understand it. It's so funny. For some people, being of service sounds like a drag. Being of service is not only fun to me, it saved my life. I didn't realize that my parents taught me to be of service when I was younger by the way that they operated and just by being a military family. They were always mentoring someone, helping someone, on the phone with someone, taking time with someone, you know, helping some young soldier or whatever. I remember my mom started taking my brother and I to volunteer and help in the Special Olympics when I was 5. And I just remember how remarkable it was that she took us. And she would tell us that we needed to understand and have appreciation and love for all walks of life. And so I grew up with these concepts, and then I became a flag-flying fuck-up of the highest order with drugs and alcohol, and I got remanded to a program which also taught me to be of service. And being of service makes you connected. If you're feeling like you're disconnected and not part of something and you're lonely, go volunteer somewhere. Go help somewhere. If you don't know where, find your local humane society. Go pet dogs. You know, I don't know if you're allowed to go spend time with old people anymore in an old home, but show up, you know, get to know your neighbor. Like, you will feel like it's impossible to keep one foot in gratitude and one foot in misery. That's why. And the second you go help someone, lo and behold, whether you know it or not, and you ask for it or not, you're going to get grateful. because you get connected to a process of humanity and it feels good. And it's really good to help another human being. It makes you feel like a worthwhile human being. Some days you wake up frozen. Who am I on? Cancer. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Some days you wake up frozen, stuck, and unable to move due to the effects of emotional denial and resistance to what is in front of you. Or maybe you are exhausted, spent from the emotional burden of your current situation. The winter goddess Yuki Ono has come to help you move out of and past this experience into a healthier state of stillness. When you are frozen, it's the ego that is refusing to accept life on life's terms, potentially causing you fear and depression. A particular situation or person may be causing you to see yourself as a victim. The goddess Yuki Ono reminds you that this is a temporary moment in the millions of moments in your life. The task she has for you is to answer one question. Will you trust the great goddess in the universe to be your active partner in co-creating? If so, slow down and let all your troubles go, and you will see the miracles life has to offer you. Assisted living centers are a good example. Yes, and thank you for that. Go volunteer some time. You can just sit in the lobby and say hi to people. So many people need someone to just talk to for a minute. Tell them you love their shirt. Say, I love you. Say, I love you to every human being you meet all day long. You know what? People are too upset to even think it's weird anymore. They're so needy that they used to look at me like, okay. Now they're like, oh, I love you too, and I needed to hear that. That's what time it is. I want to tell you something too. I just realized this says, what was it? Oh, it's the ego that's refusing to accept life on life's terms, potentially causing you fear and depression. So I've learned this really nifty little trick lately that is like, it's like a human, I don't know, truth machine or something. It's so cool. I need to think of a name for this little process, but this is so fundamentally simple, so profound. Okay. So to accept life on life's terms, potentially, when you are frozen, it's the ego that is refusing to accept life on life's terms, potentially causing you fear and depression. All right, so we were talking before about child life vulnerability, right? And really getting in touch with what you're about. So when you don't know what you're about and you're trying to be in control of everything, then you feel fearful and you feel depression because you have no control and you can't accept acceptance, right? Your lack of power is your dilemma and acceptance is your solution, excuse me, but you're not willing to accept that you don't know. And so that lack of acceptance is the thing creating the fear. And when you're experiencing that fear, it's a very easy, understandable thing to go, if I feel this way, this isn't how spirit sees it. If I can't breathe and I'm this afraid, this is not how spirit sees it. Let me put some skin on this. I'm probably going to lose my job. I'm probably going to lose my house. I'm probably going to... Does that feel good? No, not at all. So do we think that's what spirit wants for us? No, not at all. Let's try again. Let's take it down just a notch. Things are a little crazy with my job. Things are a little crazy with my life. But I'm sure there's a solution. I'm sure there's a solution. I'm sure in time, with help, I can figure this stuff out. I can get help. Does that feel good? Yes. Does it feel more practical? Does it allow you to breathe? Yes. Do you think spirit's more on board with that? Yes. When you're going through life now and you're seeing something, remember I said it's your job to change your perspective. It's your job to see things and to change your perspective, okay? To let the old die. That doesn't mean change your circumstances. That means change your perspective. And here's your little barometer. Here's your new tool. As you go through your life and something doesn't feel good, that's your clue to change your perspective. That is your clue to say, I'm going to see this differently. I'm going to reframe this. I'm going to choose to say, I'm losing this job because the better one is coming. Whatever it is, you find a way to tell yourself the gravy details, the groovy stuff, so that you feel good inside. It doesn't have to be Like, if someone acts a fool and it hurts your feelings, okay? No, they're probably not caring about your feelings. Yes, they probably did it to be a tool and hurt your feelings. But does that make you feel good? No. And you're mad at them. And you think they're a loser. And that doesn't feel good either. Because the truth of the matter is, that human being is also a baby of the Most High, just trying to fucking figure it out. They're in the shit show too. So they made a bad move. So their intention is not really to hurt your feelings. Their intention is just to relieve the stress they're in. So if you can find it within yourself to be like, oh, that baby of the Most High is having a rotten day and decided to deflect on me, but it don't have shit to do with me. Because I'm amazing. I'm going to suspend judgment and allow amazing. How's that feel? Not too bad. Do I think that's probably what Spirit's in line with? Yes. Do I think that's compassionate and kind to my fellow human? Yes. Do you feel me? My Cancer kiddos go out in public everywhere and anywhere and compliment random people daily. Yes. I love that. I love that. I do too. You know what's really fun is I've grown into this person that it's no longer weird from. Like, everyone tells me I love them. I tell them I love them. Like, sometimes the first time I meet them, and it just doesn't seem to be weird anymore. It's really cool to, I was going to say metabolize. Interesting. Metabolize my woo-woo. That's a yummy sentence. I used to use the word woo-woo making fun of myself in a demeaning way. And then I think it was in 2019, I decided that I was not going to talk about myself that anymore, or the woo-woo, because the woo-woo is wonderful. And so allowing myself to become more of who I want to be is really pretty, because as I accept it, the others accept it around me. It really has nothing to do with them and everything to do with me, you know. We're pulling for Leo, and I'm not moving quickly. I'm talking too much. I think almost each of these cards has been inverted so far. And I was thinking on the last reading, it's really giving me an understanding of where everyone's at. Esther, new beginnings. 13. I think I said 8. Did I say 18? 13 for Leo. So 1 and 3 is 4. Leo, we're working on manifestation. Okay? And it's your season. And you're roaring your mighty roar. And we all need your love and compassion and courage, especially right now. We need that Leo energy for sure. Okay. Look to the potential hidden in promising connections and opportunities. The difficulty arises when you think you already know how something will go. You might do something prematurely or miss an amazing experience that's right in front of you because you're looking in another direction. The real lesson is not in whether something works out, but in how you manage your curiosity so you can experience something new. Life is for learning, and right now your alignment task is to be with what is, which is perfect as it is. Look at the lessons in your life and how they are repeating. You will find that when you come to understand them, you'll know why your current situation happened. Everything has a purpose for new life. Even disappointments can turn into miracles. Trust that the goddess of the dawn, Esther, will bring light and hope in your heart for good cause. Even if it's different from what you expect, it's always beautiful. Pretty. Okay, Virgo. Organized Virgo. Ooh, Gula right side up. 18, 1 and 9. 1 and 8 is number 9. We are understanding the dynamics of a cycle. We are not yet completing it, but it looks like we're about ready to put it into play. Virgo. Gula, the Babylonian goddess of medicine and healing, has come to guide you as a blessing and for your well-being. You're being invited to address the areas of your life that need healing. Perhaps you've moved so quickly through your life that you've forgotten about self-care. Perhaps the stories you've told yourself about who you are need healing. We don't always see that we are hurting ourselves or others. Take heart, for Gula comes into your world as your ally. saying that now is the most auspicious time to focus on healing in all aspects of your life. Only good things will come from your actions here. In fact, now is also the perfect time when you can be assured that you can heal rifts with others as well. Be sincere and call upon Gula for this precious commitment. You may also be called to the path of the healer now. If so, the goddess Gula supports this wholeheartedly. You just need to be willing, respect others, and do no harm. Miracles will arise as if out of nowhere. I'm glad that's read. If you do feel like you're being called to rise up right now, it's because we're getting lit. That's one of the reasons I am, or that's the biggest reason that I am speaking more freely now. I'm like, what do you got to lose? So if half the population thinks you're crazy, not really who I want to play with anyway, So if you are being called to rise up or to share something that you think might sound weird or be weird, I'd say do it. It's Leo season. Expression. Get on stage, right? Libra. Besides, this is the shakeout. This is the shakeout when everything comes out, and this is why I say we will want to ground ourselves and create more community and safe space inside ourselves and with others, because when people get shook like that on a real foundational level about things that they considered foundational truths, it affects everyone differently. I had something else I wanted to say about that and then I forgot. I don't know. We won't worry about it right now. Good gracious. Mama Kila, the moon, and she's upside down. Okay, so for Libra, number 32, 3 and 2 is 5. That's change. So you got the spokes of the wheel, Libra, turning, turning, rolling, rolling. And she says, sometimes you feel out of sync with life, frustrated that the universe isn't providing you with what you desire. Do you want what you want exactly how and when you want it, and you feel like the great goddess is ignoring you? You may be wanting something to happen faster than it's meant to occur. Remember, the conditions of your life are temporal and ever-changing. Maybe you've just been unaware of the cycle you're in, and so you've missed the signals. The moon goddess, Mama Kila, knows the cycles intimately, and she'll let you know when it's time for the next phase. Mama Kila is always on track with the cycles of creation, and you must trust this wisdom. Her alignment task for you is to recognize and work with the natural cycle you are in. You will be amazed as alignment with the rhythm of the universe allows you to once again co-create consciously and surrender to life on life's terms. What a beautiful dance when Mama Kila offers you her support. I've been thinking about that lately, that I'm a Capricorn, I move fast. I'm like, I want it, I'm ready, I want it, I'm ready. But, you put a kid on a bike with 2 wheels and they've been riding with 4 going downhill before they're ready, and it might not be a good deal, Maybe that child needs a couple more weeks on the training wheels, and then maybe the kid needs a 2-wheel bike on a flat surface. And then maybe we do that for a couple months and then send them down the hill. My human self is like, yo, I saw the bike. I don't even know how to ride it, but like, put me on it. Take all the training wheels off and send me downhill now. And then I crash. So I'm learning that as much as I push on the gas pedal, I need to back off the gas pedal. As much as I push, I need to rest. As much as I want, I need to receive. Receiving, allowance. 2 words that are completely foreign to the human population nowadays. Let's go, Scorpio. Schooled, the future, 46. I love this card. I think she looks like a Viking queen. Beautiful. 4 and 6 is 10. Okay, so 10 is the completion of a cycle. Scorpio has wrapped some stuff up. Let's see what's going on for you, Scorpio. And she's right side up. As you set your intentions for the life you desire, the Norse goddess Skuld comes to show you glimpses of your future. You experience these magical journey markers as flashes of insight and moments of inspiration, like an echo of something that exists in another dimension. It's fun when things turn out exactly as you predicted, but remember that the essence of your intention means more than its form. Very important. The goddess Skuld, who rules the destiny of gods and men, says remaining true to the moment is your greatest power. Allowing the self to evolve as you go and discovering new things today sets the path for destiny to unfold. The power of the present and how you respond to life's potential is the potent, fertile seeds of the future. In order to claim the future, you must attend to the now. Even then, nothing is guaranteed and everything is infused with magic. So, especially during this time, I love these cards and I love going through these together because it makes me think of so many things that I wouldn't share with you otherwise. I lost my place. Oh, but remember that the essence of your intention means more than its form. So there's such a manifestation craze right now, right? And people are all like, you know, I'm seeding my intentions and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And they're so bent on the form that a lot of them are completely forgetting that the number one component of manifestation that is the most important is how you feel. It's your heart space. So like, if you're like, I'm going to hurry up and make some intentions. This is funny. I'm going to hurry up and make some intentions. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to seed them. And I gotta hurry up because I'm, you know, in your inside, you're like, you got to hurry up because you're stressed out. You got to work and you got to make money and blah, blah, blah. So where is my resonant place I'm coming from? Stressed out, in a hurry, and deficient and lack, right? But my mouth is writing intentions of high vibrational allowance and love. Those are two different vibrations. So as this said, what number was that? 46? That the intent is more important than the form. We focus so much on what it looks like. I ordered this. I wanted this. But you got this because this is what you need. So if we can focus on what we want in our heart space, which again, humans, you got to find out who you are and what you like and what you do for fun. This comes first. And then once we can clean out our heart space and start traveling from our head to our heart, you will find that what you're manifesting is more of what you desire. And that you'll also find that it might not be the exact thing that you thought you wanted, but because your intention was pure and your heart space was in an agreeable place, you called in more of what is agreeable and more of what you desired. Make sense? Instead of focusing so much on the form, so much on the 3D, it's really about our heart space. So I can say hello, how are you, and thank you in 42 languages, and I can do any accent I've ever heard perfectly. I'm responding to the comment about the voices and the accents. How funny is that, right? Let's see here, Sagittarius. The same card, Lacey, Revelation, and she's upside down again. So 28, 2 and 8 is that a 2 and 8? Yes. 2 and 8 is 10. And so Sagittarius, we're completing a cycle. Let's read the message again that she has for us. All right. Lazy, or Lacey, not to be confused with lazy. I get a little silly after I've been on here a while. Okay, she says, sometimes life throws you a curveball and it feels like you've been hit by lightning. Perhaps a romantic partner betrays you suddenly. An illness strikes someone close to you. A job you expected fell through. The new employee turns out to be a dud, or you get a huge tax bill. No matter what the subject, your task is to pivot and course correct according to the needs of the event. Even if you don't understand what's happening, don't second guess yourself. Some things are not meant to be predictable, and detours may be exactly what you need. Loss or bad news aren't the only options in this situation. You may have just been offered something you've always wanted, such as a proposal from a lover, a better job, or the chance to move. Your tendency might be your tendency might be to try to control the circumstances or worry you may not be prepared for the changes. The goddess Lsʋ reminds you that the great goddess will never give you more than you can handle. Your alignment task is to surrender what's in front of you. You can do this, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you're the king of adventure. Go for it. Just do it. And if you're not going, wow, then you're not doing it right. Because you're Sag. You can listen to this reading and you can apply it to your rising sign, your ascendant, and your moon. And so you can take the energy of the card and just put it on your rising sign, put it on your ascendant, put it on your moon, and then take the meaning accordingly. Thank you all for being here with me. I appreciate you being here so much. And please let me know how the reading resonated for you. If the card for your sign resonated as the truth, drop me a note in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Let's see. I just read Sag. We're reading for Capricorn. And I think I shuffled them too. This is what happens when I'm on here a while. But at least I'm not nervous anymore. Funny. Okay, Rhea, Flo. She's also upside down. She's number 43. So 4 and 3 is 7. We're again in that spiritual spiral, that beautiful synchronicity of the 7. And she is saying to us, Capricorn, Capricorn. Oh my. Sometimes you may find yourself in a stagnant state where nothing seems to be moving. The flow between you and the universe is blocked. This can happen when you fear that your desires won't be met, and also when things are moving quickly and seemingly in a different direction from what you expected. The goddess Rhea reminds you that when you trust the flow state, you'll find an opportunity to flow around a bend you've not discovered yet. Her alignment task for you is to let go of the branch and allow yourself to be carried on the river of your life into parts of the river you have not yet traveled through. She will ensure that although you experience unfamiliar and unexpected things, releasing the form of it all will only result in the discovery of magic and miracles. Let go and allow the flow to do the rest. You'll be amazed at how effortless life becomes. So Capricorn, you are the one sign that rightfully doesn't have a clue right now. We have been cleaned out, completely demoed by Pluto for the last almost 17 years. And then Pluto just left our sign. I say this because I'm a Capricorn. That's why I know so much about it. So Pluto just left our sign, okay? Tore us down to the nitty gritty. Yes, down to the sub-zero so we can start over and rebuild. But it ain't that time yet because they're coming back one more time. So Pluto's about to come back through our sign. It's going to retrograde into Capricorn one more time, which is insane and crazy and not normal. And I almost just flipped myself with my earrings. How much fun is that? And we're going to get that one last little clean out of who we came to be. So Capricorn is the one sign of the zodiac right now who's really finding out who the F they are. It's really coming down. We've been stripped of almost all of our false layers. We've had to die and we grow again and again. So to let yourself go with the flow right now and to not be bent on regenerating, on building, on understanding, on having it all together is a good deal. Telling a Capricorn to let up and let go and not be disciplined is about the hardest thing possible. I'm like, I'm a mountain goat. What do you want me to just hang out? Like I climb. I'm here to climb. But it's time to have a picnic. I know, tell a mountain goat, just take a load off and have a picnic. It's completely against our nature. But I share that because if you're a Capricorn right now and you're running around trying to figure it all out because it feels so weird not to know, like me, take a break. Take a break. Take a break until after Pluto leaves our sign and comes back into Aquarius, and then you will have solid understanding. But right now, trying to make things stick is simply spinning our wheels, and we're not going to get any traction because we've not at that spot yet. Much like one of the other cards said, like we were talking about, if it came early before we are ready and prepared, we wouldn't know what to do with it. So allow yourself the beauty of not knowing right now, of letting go of that figurative stick and of not needing to grab onto something. You don't need to You don't need safety. You don't need structure. You don't need solace. You are okay. You're floating down the river. And although you don't know where you're going, which for a Capricorn likes to have it all figured out, all disciplined, all organized, absolutely not going to happen right now. So enjoy the ride. That same mentor used to say to me, Heather, you bought the ticket. Take the ride. Really trying to take the ride down the river and have no clue where I'm going and just throw my hands in the air and wave them like I just don't care. It's that time for all of us, but I think it's you know, it's easier for some signs to let go than others. It's easier for some signs to remain more disciplined than others, right? Okay, we're at Pisces. We are at the last sign of the zodiac. Lovely, beautiful Pisces, where there's so much action right now with Neptune and Saturn. Okay, we have Freya. She's upside down. Radical acceptance, number 15. 1 and 5 makes 6. 6 is a beautiful circle of spirituality, a very balanced number. So what's Freya saying to the Pisces? Pisces is going to be in a hard learning curve for a while. Having Saturn in your sign is tough. So Saturn's going to be in Pisces for a little while. So Pisces are really having to grow up and deal with boundaries and creating more balanced environments for better life dynamics. I mean, we could say that about all of us, but that's specifically Pisces right now. Okay, Pisces, Freya says, failure and disappointment are parts of life that few want to accept. Perhaps a job you want doesn't come through, a lover you thought was the one betrays your hopes and expectations, or maybe your kids are acting out. Maybe a long-term creative project didn't yield the success you so dearly hoped for, or perhaps you were hurt by someone for no apparent reason. Goddess of War and Radical Acceptance, Freya, says have no fear. This is only temporary. Now is not the time to linger in perceptions of low self-worth. Your alignment task is to accept the truth wholeheartedly and see your situation exactly for what it is. She will bring you to a place of surrender where you have time to heal. Freya knows you will emerge stronger and wiser. Only good will come out of this. Trust the goddess Freya is watching over you. I love that it spoke about self-worth because that's one of the massive dynamics for Pisces right now. Working on healing your self-worth, increasing your thoughts about yourself. That has to do with the boundary setting. They all kind of go hand in hand. So there is our reading for everyone. If you are just joining me, do go to the beginning and watch the little chatty chat and the reading for the collective. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another video and talk to you guys about how to start feeding yourself in your own biology, because I think I've been on here for quite a while. So I will do that in the next couple of days because that's the next stuff on the plate. That's the next work. For us to learn how to feed ourselves better. One thing right now, if you're not doing it right now, is absolutely get your feet on the ground every day with what I spoke about earlier. Give yourself the gift of connection. Give yourself the gift of balance. If you're experiencing anxiety, if you have dis-ease in your energetic field or in your body, let the earth love on you. Might sound so silly, but we are creatures of the earth. We got the same amount of bone as she does rock. Same amount of water as she does. Same amount of blood as she does fire. Same amount of gas as she does atmosphere. We are the same denominations and of the same body. And she has the power to, literally, she has the power. She's juiced. She's got the power to help us calm down. So make sure you're getting your feet on the ground every day. But I will make another video and we will start to talk more about how to start feeding yourselves, how to start feeding your, what did I write down? Your energy and your biology and your consciousness, because we want to raise the vibration in our energy. We want to raise the vibration in our belief system, and we want to raise the energy and conductivity in our biology. For those who don't know, again, you're an electromagnetic battery and you heal on the cellular level. It takes more voltage to heal a cell than it does to make a cell. So we want to increase our voltage, our internal voltage, our conductivity, and that will help us heal and become happier, healthier human beings. You can go to my store. I linked my store on here. I have new energy body barrier in new sense. All of my personal care products are charged with scalar energy. This is a new whipped body butter that is absolute heaven on your skin. This is my favorite thing to play with right now. It looks like, I can't open this one or it'll make a mess, but it looks like frosting. It's all whipped frosting. And this is body butter oil. And what I was saying is all of my products are charged with bioscalar energy. They are charged with a particular blend, if you will, a proprietary blend of scalar energy. So when you use my products on your skin, they come straight through your skin. There's no barrier between your skin and your bloodstream. That's why I make skin products. So they soak right into your bloodstream and right into your hormones. And that scalar energy charges your cells and increases the voltage and conductivity in your body. They make your body immune from Wi-Fi, cell phone, and ELF wave exposure for 2.5 days with each use. So you reduce the radiation in your body and increase the strength of your electromagnetic field so that these waves coming in your field do not enter your biology. You have this beautiful bubble riding around you, as I told you in the beginning. You want to keep that bubble clean. You want to increase your personal conductivity so the bubble gets bigger. The bigger and more conductive the field, the happier and healthier the human. So you can go to my store I think I linked the store in the description of this video. Please join my YouTube channel. And if you are interested in a reading, I will give, I'll do 30% off all of my readings. I'm going to do, I was going to do 35% off natal readings. So if you're interested in a reading, please send me an email. If you're interested in a natal reading, if you want to know where everything was when you were born and what that means and how to help yourself and what you're here for, you can find out about your love life. You can find out about your health. You can find out about your life path. You can find out about, you can do synastry readings and find out if you're compatible with certain people. It's really cool stuff. So if you are interested in any of those readings, please send me an email. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for sharing love and space. And I love you. I love you so much. I can't even put it into words. I hope you can feel it. I trust you can feel it. When you leave this space with me, go forth with love in your heart and do your best to bring love to each and every situation around you. Love the human in front of you. Love the situation in front of you. Love the dynamic changing in front of you that has no more information than you do. Be love. Thank you for being here. I love you so big.